Guys, we're here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're reviewing the all-new 2026 Honda Civic Sport Hatchback.
And a big thanks to Wade and the rest of the management and staff here at Honda of Port Richey for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Port Richey, Tampa Bay area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Wade.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Civic started off as Honda's subcompact car back in 1972. Available in a ton of different body styles, whether it being a sedan, coupe, 3-door hatchback, 5-door station wagon, or the 5-door liftback that we have here, and moving up to the compact segment for its 6th generation back in 1995, sticking to it through the 11th generation that you see here, which has been with us since 2022 and facelifted last year for 2025, which updates the styling, adding a powerful and efficient hybrid model. But unfortunately, these updates include Honda ditching the 6-speed manual out of the Civic hatchback, leaving us exclusively with either a CVT or eCVT transmissions, outside, of course, of the SI and Type R. The 2026 Civic hatchback is available in 3 trim levels, starting just under $28,000 for the Sport that you see here, ranging up to the top $33,000 Sport Touring, with a $30,000 Sport Hybrid sitting right in the middle. But here we have the Sport starting at $27,795. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So we mentioned Honda updated the styling last year for the 2025 facelift, and it looks good. Aggressive for the lower bumper area, full LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, functional airflow in each corner with an aluminum Honda badge. We don't have an intercooler for the lower bumper area because this isn't a turbocharged model, just a naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder, which cranks out about 150 horsepower. So no, it's not the biggest powerhouse. There are much more powerful Civics available, whether it being the Hybrid, the SI, or the Type R. This being one of the more value-oriented trim levels. We get these black 18-inch wheels still wrapped in Goodyear Eagle Sport all-season tires. Dimensions are 235/40 R18, just like on the SI we reviewed on this channel. We get all body color trim for the wheel well area, pretty aggressive side skirts with black contrasted mirrors, black window trim, black pillars, and blind spot monitoring on the glass. We get smart access for the driver and the front passenger, no moonroof, shark fin style antenna, and I'll take a step back. Hopefully you guys pick up the side profile on the 2026 Civic hatchback. The hatchback being about 80% identical to the sedan, it's just a little bit more practical once we take a step out here. With the same rear wheel and tire setup, the only difference is a smaller brake caliper. The gas cap is push to open with easy fill, and you can throw regular gas here for the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. With LED taillights, the turn signals are halogen. The reverse light also appears to be halogen, but the outer ring all LED. Black badging, kind of wish the Honda badge was also blacked out. And shout out Honda of Port Richey for helping make this review possible. We get the wiper out back for the lift back design, the exhaust tip in the lower right corner. And speaking of the exhaust tip, let's fire up this 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, and here she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine sold by Honda for the 2026 Civic. And it sounds okay, cranking out 150 horsepower, 138 pound-feet of torque, sending the power to the front wheels, and made it to a CVT transmission. You can expect a high 8-second 0 to 60 time, so definitely not the quickest. You can shave off 2 seconds by going with the SI. You can shave off almost 3 seconds by going with the new hybrid model. So I would definitely recommend checking one of those out if you're looking for something a little bit more performance-oriented, but if you're looking to save some serious money, this Sport is a really good value under 30,000 bucks. We can take a step back, walk around this 2026 Civic hybrid, or not hybrid, hatchback Sport with smart access for the driver and a front passenger up top. Just hard plastic like on the SI we reviewed, with cloth in the center and a gushy soft cloth armrest. Auto one-touch windows up front, power windows for all 4, and 4-way adjustable mirrors. We don't get the upgraded Bose system, but it's a solid audio system for a bass. You'll stack 2 footlongs and a 32-ounce water bottle. The seats have this cloth and leatherette contrast, very comfortable and supportive. They're not electrically adjusted, but you can still recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats with latches. But taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So put on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. So as far as the front seat, really nothing changes compared to the Sport sedan that we reviewed on this channel. Still getting the leather steering wheel, solid 10 and 2, perfect 9 and 3, rubberized horn area. The horn Loud, not very loud and aggressive, but it's loud enough to get people out of your way. We'll do a window check, see if we get dual panes. We do not, but it's a decently thick single pane of glass. We get tweeter speakers on the pillars, soft touch dashboard, kind of wish it carried over for the armrest here. Stocks have a very satisfying click, auto headlamps. Don't believe we have auto high beams, and no auto rain sensing wipers. Volume skip, source, home, voice commands, and you can adjust the left side of this infotainment screen. The adjustments include vehicle settings. You can customize the display, warnings, range, fuel, speed, time, driver attention, and all of that. My personal favorite would be range and fuel. The tach going to about 6,600 RPM, digital speedo in the center, and 160 mile an hour speedometer. On the right side, we get our adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist with its adjustments. No adjustments for the right side of the digital gauge display like on the SI. The paddle shifters adjust the ratios for the CVT transmission. I mentioned the stocks have a nice satisfying click. We get a tilt and telescoping steering column, interior lighting, traction control you can disable, hood latch release, and hopefully you get a good look at the aluminum outlined pedals. You get some aluminum outlining these new Civic style air vents that we've had since 2022, and it looks very premium here. We don't get the Google based infotainment screen here. It's a 7-inch touchscreen still with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but you got to get the models with the Google based screen to get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Either way, we get hard buttons for the skip, phone, radio, media, connect, back and menu, volume and tune dials. You can check out the backup camera. Decent resolution with guidance lines and trajectory, and 3 adjustable camera views. Throwing it back into park, we return right back to the previous screen. Single zone automatic climate control. No standard heated seats here. Got to go up to the higher trims to get that, but not a big deal. Beneath that, 2 USB-C ports, 12 volt, 180 watt max. Decent amount of storage. Hard to show you guys the gear selector, the drive mode selector behind it. The drive modes are sport, normal, and econ mode. Oh, I'm not sure if you guys saw that. Normal, sport, econ. We'll start off in normal, try out sport, try out econ, and just see what the differences are. We get our auto engine start stop that we can disable behind it, electronic parking brake with brake hold. Large cup holders, you'll fit 32-ounce bottles here with no problem. Some more of that carbon flash for the center stack, and a gushy soft cloth armrest. Very solid amount of space here too. With the automatic transmission outside of the SI, you get about triple the center console space. You'll fit probably 4, maybe 5 1-liter bottles of soda with some additional storage in this upper pocket. The glove box, let's check it out. It is damped, not lined felt, and decently spacious. You'll fit about 18, 20 license plates. Should be able to fit a pair of shoes. Should be able to fit 3, possibly 4 Harry Potter books. We don't get a frameless or auto dimming rear view mirror, but we didn't have it in the SI. Not gonna knock the Sport for not having it. Got to pull this flappy thing to dim it. The interior lights are LED. Headliner feels a little bit more on the basic side, and that's about it for the front seat, at least. The 2026 Honda Civic Hatchback Sport. Let's take a step out back, see how much space is offered back here, as well as the overall quality of the materials. So all hard plastic outside of the cloth padded armrest, aluminum door handle, power window, and 2 speakers on the rear door panel. The second row seats are still that leather and cloth contrast, but the padding does not go out to the door frame. The bottom looks comfortable and the legroom looks spacious. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have about 3-4 inches of overall knee room, headroom. I have about 1.5 to 2 inches, so a little bit more spacious compared to the standard sedan. No mat box behind either of the front seats, and no air vents either. There is something going on under the front seat, but nothing blowing directly at us. The interior lights are LED. We got a grab handle with a hook for the driver's side, no hook on the passenger side grab handle, and we don't have a center console armrest, but everything here is in that leatherette trim. That's about it for the second row. Let's take a step out in the cargo space, which is the main reason why you're going with the hatchback over the sedan. Underneath the Honda badge is a button to open up the hydraulic strut assisted lift gate, which seriously adds in practicality. The Civic already has a huge opening for its sedan, but with this liftback design, I'll leave a link right over here for the overall cargo space. So you're looking at practically HRV levels of cargo space with a cover, so people walking behind your Civic don't see what you have going on. And as far as secret storage, underneath this all-weather mat, let's check it out. You get your spare tire, jack, and fix-a-flat kit, and you'll fit some stuff outside of it. Very spacious, very practical. That's why you're going with the hatchback over the sedan. Basically as practical as an Acura Integra while saving some serious money. It's not going to perform as well as an Integra. However, if you go for the hybrid, it'll perform just as well, if not better, while really not costing a whole lot more than what we have here with the Sport. But here we have the Sport, as cheap as you can get into a 2026 Civic hatchback, while still having a surprisingly nice vehicle with really premium driving dynamics. And speaking of the premium driving dynamics, let's take this 2026 Honda Civic hatchback Sport out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2026 Honda Civic hatchback Sport. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, looks like I'm going the wrong direction to get out of this grassy part of the parking lot, but we figured it out. And over these bumps, the ride's nice. We just came out of a Civic Si, which has a sport tune suspension, driving on the same exact roads, and this is a noticeably softer ride. Not to say that the Si wasn't also a good riding vehicle. This is just a much more comfortable vehicle compared to it. Speed bump, yeah, the ride quality is fantastic, and this is just with 40 sidewall tires. I'm not exactly sure why Honda put such skinny tires on a base Sport. I understand that since you call it Sport, you want it to look sporty, but I think that this base Sport could have benefited with slightly thicker tires. But either way, ride quality is great. Lean into about halfway. At partial throttle, this 4-cylinder feels perfectly fine. Of course, when you floor it, you realize there's only 150 horsepower under your right foot, but they did a good job tuning this powertrain so that it feels surprisingly strong. And this is all in normal mode. We will try it out in Sport. It doesn't take a lot of throttle for the CVT to down you a ratio and accelerate quite nicely. And over these bumps, run over this manhole cover, rides very well. Let's try it out in Sport mode, see what changes up. The revs automatically increase, which actually help your braking a little bit. You increase the engine braking. And we'll take a step out here. Steering gets a little bit sharper. Throttle gets a little bit more sensitive, but not a whole lot. This is about third throttle. And you pick up speed very well. Sport mode does hold on to the ratio, so we're hovering around 2,400 RPM. And we can try out a little pull-up hill. Strong. Not bad. Of course, it's not a fast car, but in Sport, it ups the tuning. I said in normal mode, the tuning felt very sharp. Sport mode only increases it. So yeah, this is a relatively slow vehicle, 0 to 60 in almost 9 seconds. That is not good. We'll not even try to defend this vehicle's power numbers. But the way that Honda tuned it, trust me, it feels surprisingly quick around town. We try out a real-world turning radius test. Very sharp, just like the Si, unchanged. And we'll try one out off the line, see how it puts the power down. I'm sure it'll be fine. On the gas. Let's go. Once it's up in the revs, this thing picks up speed fine. So it's not that this engine is the problem here. The CVT's first ratio takes you to like almost 50-something miles an hour. If this had a shorter first ratio, like a first gear relative that would shift you out of it in around 25, I think that you would shave off at least a second off of the 0 to 60. You throw the 10-speed auto that we have in Honda's lineup into this car, I think a second will be shaved off of the 0 to 60 time. I'm not saying that this engine's amazing. 150 horsepower, 138 pound-feet of torque, it is what it is. It's just the CVT really isn't doing the engine many favors. We can take it out of Sport mode. Hopefully you guys got a good idea. Let's completely flip the script. Go to Econ mode. Let's throw it in faster than we should. Good handling. Good handling. So sure, that's why we're going with those 40 sidewall tires at 235 wide. That's top of the segment when it comes to tire size at this price point, and it really helps out the handling and premium feel of this car. We can slow down a little bit, try out a half throttle pull in Eco. Feels fine. It doesn't feel amazing, and of course it's super quick to throw you into the overdrive gear. But if you're looking to get 34 combined MPGs, that's what it says on the sticker, Econ mode is probably going to be the mode you're going to do it in. We can take a step out here on this multiple lane road, open her up a little bit more. We're back in normal mode. Steering feels good. On the gas. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, once the CVT lets you up in those higher revs, it does pull surprisingly well. not a bad 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. I've been saying it for quite some time. Honda has some seriously premium feeling cars that they're releasing, and their engines are surprisingly underrated. I just wish that they had a more broad application of their engines. I'm not saying put your 3.5 V6 into a Civic, no, but they're releasing the new sporty Prelude with all these hybrid powertrains. Sure, keep them with the hybrid powertrains, but give us the option for a 3.5-liter V6. That 3.5 is an awesome engine, and I would like to see it in something that Honda produces that's not a Pilot, Passport, or Ridgeline. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. No, I'm not saying to put that in the Civic, because the Civic does have some sporty engine options, whether we're talking the 2-liter turbo from the Type R, the high output 1.5 turbo that you get from the SI, or this new hybrid powertrain that we have that's quicker than the Civic Si. Considering that, I don't know if I would recommend you guys to buy this sport hatchback. I like this platform, it feels really good, but around $30,000 you can get the sport hybrid hatchback, which is basically very similarly equipped to what we have here. It's about $2,500 more expensive for the base price, but you're shaving almost 3 seconds off of the 0 to 60. You're adding about 15 miles per gallon. Those are some serious numbers, and it's not just a joke. The response with that hybrid, it feels like you have a very powerful engine under your right foot, all while getting almost Toyota Prius fuel economy. So I would recommend paying the extra $2,500 and go with the hatchback sport hybrid. And I think that you would really appreciate doing so. But either way, this is a very, very good platform. It feels a lot more expensive than it really is, whether we're talking about ride quality, whether we're talking about steering feel, braking, sound isolation, everything is fantastic. It's just for $2,500, you can also heavily upgrade the powertrain. And a big thanks to Wade and the rest of the management and staff here at Honda of Port Richey for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Port Richey, Tampa Bay area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Wade. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.